This is Kelso Surgeon. Welcome to another session at my College of Advanced Sports Handicapping. I have a lot to say about both football and basketball today, and we'll jump right in. First of all, maybe the biggest news of the day is the fact that my top play in the colleges Saturday will be my 100-unit college football game of the month. Now, over the last 7 Saturdays, I've released 200-unit blowout plays. I've won all 7 of them, most of them in blowout fashion. But there's no game that qualifies for that level of play this week. And I never try to make something happen when it's outside the rules. I follow a very, very straight set of rules in handicapping. Any time in the past that I've given in to the temptation to violate them, I've had my head handed to me. I learned long ago, if this is what's successful for you, this is what you do. So this week there's no 200-unit play. There will be one next week already. I've already singled that game out. But here's what we have this week, the situation. We have 6 or 7 games that meet the first requirement of being a 200-unit play. They grade out with a 100% chance to win straight up, period. That's the first requirement. Requirement number 2 is a team that I release at the 200-unit level must grade out with better than a 90% chance to cover the number. None of these 6 or 7 teams grade out at the 90% level. I've got a couple of them that are close. I'm not going to flirt with disaster because, as I pointed out, the results of me going beyond my own rules has proved disastrous to me and my clients in the past. I don't do it any longer. So I'm using one of these highly rated games, by the way, as my 100-unit college football game of the month. It does have a 100% chance to win straight up, and better than an 85% chance to cover the number. But keep in mind, 85% is not 90%. And so we'll pass this week on the 200-unit plays, get all the cash with a 100-unit college football game of the month. That's just the way I am. I will not violate my rules. I'm not trying to be a hero to me or to you or whatever. I don't press. If the games don't meet the rules, I take a pass. Once again, next Saturday I will have that 200-unit college blowout game of the week. In fact, there's 3 spots next week that we could step in. Let's see what the lines actually are. But I will have another 200-unit play. It'll be my 8th one of the season. It'll be my 8th one in the past 9 weeks, and I intend to win it just as easily as I have the other games. Now, there's a lot of things to look at in both the NFL and college football this week. First of all, we have a situation in the NFL which is kind of surprising. 10 weeks into the season, we still have 21 teams, 21 of the 32 teams still eligible for a spot in the playoffs. That doesn't mean they're all going to get there. In fact, we know they're not. But right now, mathematically, they have a chance. That begins tonight, Thursday night, with the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Both these teams have losing records, but both are still alive for a spot in the playoffs. They'll both be incentive-driven, to say the least. I have strong feelings on this game. I'm releasing it as my AFC game of the week. It's a 50-unit play, and you can get it on this website or toll-free at 1-800-755-2255 for just $50. Also tonight, for my Best Bet Club members, I'm releasing the North Carolina at Virginia game. I intend to get the cash here just as I did last Thursday night with Arkansas State. Winning tonight, setting up for the weekend, building that bankroll, get it done tonight in both the NFL, my 50-unit AFC game of the week, and my 10-unit Best Bets Club play. Both the price is right. You can get both of them right here or toll-free at 1-800-755-2255. All major credit cards are accepted. Now, the one thing that I need to say about the BCS this week is, we've got some dynamite games. We have number 1 ranked Kansas State at Baylor, a night game. We have number 2 ranked Oregon playing Stanford. Notre Dame is again in against Wake Forest, and we could go on and on. And the feeling among a lot of bettors, which truthfully is just really not supported by any evidence. We look at these games and say, well, these teams really have to win if they want to play for the BCF championship. Have is the very key word here. Nobody has to win anything. I have to win my 200-unit plays, but I grade them under a system that weeds out the losers and brings the winners to the surface. I don't have any choice in who's playing in these BCS games, so I can't say to you that the underdog can't win them all, that the favorite won't win them all. Just remember, nobody has to win, period, at this point of the season, even if they are battling for a shot in the BCS championship game, as most of these teams are on Saturday. You know, there's only two universal rules of handicapping, and I think it says it all. They're my rules. I settled on them years ago. Number one is you can do everything right and be wrong. The second rule is there's an exception to every rule, and that's why these games can be unpredictable, period. Should the favorites win? Probably. Do they have to? Absolutely not. Just keep that in mind. Now, we have an interesting situation in quarterbacks in the NFL this week, too. It is something that you just absolutely must pay attention to. First of all, we know Ben Roethlisberger will not play against Baltimore. Roethlisberger suffered a separated shoulder and a severe rib injury in his last game. He may be out for 2 or 3 games, maybe even more. The rib injury is far more serious than the shoulder injury, and the doctors say absolutely not, he can't play. Now at Philadelphia, Michael Vick certainly is going to miss this week's game against the Redskins. He hasn't even shown up at practice a couple of days this week, and that means that Nick Foles, the rookie from Arizona, will get the start. What it means, I don't know. Vic hasn't been very successful this season, too. We're sorry he's hurt. Maybe Nick can turn it around. You know, in the San Francisco 49ers Chicago Bear games, we got both starting quarterbacks questionable because of concussions that they suffered last week. Jay Cutler for the Bears, Alex Smith for the 49ers. You know, if I were going to bet that game, I certainly would wait until the last minute, until the coaches declare their quarterback intentions. My feeling is that both will play because both have been at practice this week, although they participated in all non-contact drills and wore the traditional black shirt, which means if you touch this guy for any reason, I might hit you in the head with a broadaxe. So they've been handled tenderly. They're hopeful to play, but we have no idea whether they will. So just keep that in mind. You know, the NFL, once again, is wide open as it can get. A tough weekend, a challenging weekend, but it all begins with looking at those quarterbacks. So don't be bashful about it. Look at them, and then you decide. Now, you know, let's run down what we've got going this week. Once again tonight, the 50-unit AFC Game of the Week with the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. On Saturday, we have the 100-unit college Game of the Month. We also have a 50-unit Big 12 Game of the Year set to win. There's 4 giant Big 12 games on Saturday. We've got Iowa State at Kansas, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Kansas State, Baylor, and Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. One of those games has graded out as a 50-unit play, and it is my Big 12 Game of the Year. Also, my Best Bets players on Best Bets Club players on Saturday going to get a 3-team package highlighted by the Ohio State-Wisconsin game. And remember, last week my top play for my Best Bets Club members, Texas A&M over Alabama, won straight up. Now in the NFL on Sunday, it's another 100-unit NFL blowout. The team I'm releasing grades out as about a 3-touchdown winner, which is a giant margin in an NFL game. Also going for my second straight Sunday night 50-unit showdown winner. The Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers intend to get all the cash. And then coming back on Monday night, it'll be the 49ers and the Bears, another 50-unit play, intend to get the cash there. Be sure that you read the newsletter that's coming to you today. Has a lot to say about basketball, especially the power of the home court. And by the way, you know, just kind of interesting, you know, the other night when West Virginia got beat by 34 points at Gonzaga 84-50, West Virginia coach Bob Huggins seemed to be stunned by the whole thing. And certainly I'm sure that Gonzaga is not 34 points better on most nights than is West Virginia. But, you know, one thing that Huggins maybe didn't realize, when he took his Mountaineers to Gonzaga, he was playing on the toughest home court in the country to win on. You know, Gonzaga has played on this new home court for 8 years now, and over the 8 years they've lost exactly 8 games there. the toughest home court in America. The second through five Pittsburgh is the second toughest home court, Memphis the third, Kentucky the fourth, and Xavier the fifth. As I said, be sure and read your newsletter that's coming to you today. It runs down the top 25 toughest home courts in America. And just keep in mind that I'm winning in basketball. I've got 3 services. If you want to get your feet wet, sign up for my Best Bets Basketball Investment Club, just $199, the early bird price. You can start winning tonight. All 3 services are explained and are available on this website and toll free at 1-800-755-2255, and I do take all major credit cards. And once again, all games available on this website and toll free at 1-800-755-2255. Good luck to you, and I'll be back here on Sunday morning.